In this video, we're going to take a look at two of the tools we have to modify existing parts. And so the first one we're going to take a look at is the fillet. So we're going to model this part here. And I'm going to do that by just drawing two rectangles. So my first rectangle is going to start right here, go up a half inch and go over 1.5 inches. My next rectangle is going to be the exact opposite, so it'll go up 1.5 and go over zero point 0.5. And then when I do the extrusion, it says to extrude to a depth of 1.5 inches, so we'll do that. E for extrude, and take all three of those profiles, extrude at 1.5 inches. So now we have the little angled part that we're going to do the chamfer on and the fillet on. So this first fillet, it says that we want to put a inside fillet and an outside round of a 1/4 inch. So fillet is right here, and it's the same tool for fillet and for round. We'll click on all three of those edges and then 0.25. And so there's my fillet round part. I'm going to save that, and I want to change over to my IAD practice project and call it the fillet angle. And now I want to make the next part. The next part is the chamfer. And what it wants us to do is first get rid of the round in this location and this location, leave that one alone. So how do I modify an existing part? First thing I want to do is do a save as. So I'll come up here to File, Save As, and save it as my chamfer angle to make sure I don't accidentally modify my fillet angle or accidentally save that. And then I'm going to come down here to the browser at the bottom and double click on the fillet. And I want to change it so that we don't have this edge or this edge selected. So I could get rid of all of the edges all at once, but then I would have to re-enter what the radius is for this inside fillet. And I don't want to do that. So you can hold down, depending on whether it's a Mac or a PC, Control or Command, and it will show you what the part looked like without that fillet. So on a Mac, it's the Command key. On a PC, it's the Control key. So here's what it looks like with the fillet. Here's what it looks like without. And now these blue edges, I can select to get rid of one. If I wanted to add one in, if I'm holding down Control, I could select to add one in a different spot. I want to get rid of both of those two and hit OK. And this is what it looks like without the fillets. So now what the directions say is to activate the chamfer tool in the modify panel, and I want the top outside edge to have a 45-degree chamfer with a distance of 0.125. Now 45 degrees is the default, so under modify, here's chamfer. I can click on that angle, and that distance was 0.125. And I don't have to choose an angle because the default is a 45-degree angle. If I wanted to, instead of doing equal distance, I could do distance and angle, and I could do 0.125 and 45 degrees, but that's exactly the same as an equal distance if the angle is 45 degrees. So that's my first chamfer. And then it also wants a chamfer down here. So I'll again choose chamfer, choose that edge, and this one wants two. It wants 0.25 vertical and 0.375 horizontal. So I'll choose two distances, and when I click right here, I can see it puts the arrow is blue going up and down. The up and down is supposed to be the 0.25. So 0.25, and then when I go down to the next box, This is the 0.375, and you can see that it goes in farther than it goes down. So if I click OK, that's what the chamfer looks like. And then the last change it wants is to edit the fillet radius to be 0.125. So for that one, I can double click on my fillet down here at the bottom and just change that to 0.125. And here's my new part. And then of course, I should save it and just leave it as user saved for the version. And I've created both of those parts.